Hello everyone, I hope that you're fine. So this is our first video to correct the exercise on direct style and indirect style. So first, before correcting, we need to identify the method, and I want you to really ask yourself this question before transforming, to be aware of what you're doing so that you will avoid any mistakes. And you've got to be extremely rigorous. This is not difficult, but you need to go through the different steps. So first, you need to identify the type of sentences. If it's affirmative or negative, there's no problem and you've got nothing to worry about. Then, if it's a question, you've got to think of two things. The first thing is the order of words. In a question, the order is WH, if you have one, auxiliary, subject, and verbal group. So you need to reorder to give a traditional ordering of words, and which will lead to you to write subject and verbal groups. So to reverse the subject and the verbal groups. Then you also have to think if it's a yes/no question or a WH question. If it's a WH question, you keep your WH. If it's a yes/no question, there's a blank space instead of the WH that you need to fill with an if. So this is the first step, very important. Then the second step is identify the pronouns and transform them. So to make things easier, it's better if you can visualize the situation and if you can identify who is talking to who. Then the question of the verbal groups. You need to worry if the verb in the introductory sentence is in the past. So in this situation, you need to modify and transform the grammatical tenses. If the verb in the introductory sentence is in the present, then you've got nothing to do. And finally, you know that I'm really rigorous about punctuation, and so here you need to be careful about this. So here there's a mistake, it's not pronunciation but punctuation marks. So in this case, it's especially for the direct style where you've got to avoid forgetting the column and the question marks. So if we start the correction of the exercise, in the first example, you've got the introductory sentence, which is the old people warn Minawi's mother. And then you've got the introductory sentence, which is here, and then you've got the punctuation marks, the column, and the quotation marks. You've got then to think about the pronoun. So the pronoun here is she, and so if you visualize the situation, the old people are talking to Minawi's mother, so they are addressing her as a you. The verbal group is in the simple past, so you need to use the simple present. And finally, you've got the use of would in the second verbal groups, which is transformed into will. The second example, okay, still moving from indirect style to direct style. The sentence, so it's not an affirmative sentence, not a negative sentence, it's not a question, and I forgot to tell you about this. This is an order, this is imperative. So it's quite simple. Here, they're demanded, it's an order, so you can replace demand by asked to express this idea of order. Then, the verbal group here is not conjugated because it's still it's an order. So, as it is not conjugated, in the direct style, you're going to use a verbal base, so no indication before or after the verb. It's the basis of the verb, so it's quite simple. Don't forget the punctuation marks. And the next one, the third one. So this time we're moving from direct style to indirect style. you've got the introductory sentence here, and you can identify that it's a question and a yes-no question. So yes-no question, you need to use the if. Then you need to reorder the words. Here you can see you've got the auxiliary, subject, and verb. Here, the verbal base. So you need to reorganize and to put the subject in the first place, okay, and then the verbal group. You've got to ask yourself about who is you. So this you is the two men that went fishing and didn't respect the law, so since they are two, we use a they. Then you need to identify the tense of the verbal group. So here it's the simple past. So since you're moving from direct style to indirect style, you need to move forward in the past. So you're going to use the past perfect with the auxiliary had and the past participle. And the same for the second verbal group, which is in the simple past, and you use the past perfect. Then the final example, so from direct style to indirect style, which is a bit more complex, but that's okay. So you need to make the introductory sentence, to write the introductory sentence, which is not explicitly present in the direct style. So the elders of the tribe said that. Then you've got the use of the simple past in the first verbal group, which is transformed in past perfect. The same for was and had been. And then you've got you silly men, which is a direct address to the two men, and you need to reintroduce a verb, because you don't have verb here, which is possible when you speak to someone, but which is not possible in a written text. So you need to rewrite the introductory sentence, which would be they and not he, because it's the elders. And they said that they were stupid. Okay, because here you implicitly mean that you are stupid. Simple present, here use of simple past. Then, so you've got another verbal group here using simple past, again past perfect. Here you can see that it's the present perfect that is going to be transformed in the past perfect. So you've got to be careful, because you can have the past perfect in indirect style, which can be transformed in two different ways, either simple past or present perfect. So if you've got this situation, you need to think about the two options and to deduce the logical one. And finally, you've got can eat, okay, and this auxiliary, which is a modal, is transformed into could, because could is can plus ed. I hope it's clear. This is not really easy to correct an exercise without you interacting and asking questions. So you'll have a second exercise, so I want you to use the method in a very rigorous way for the second exercise. And what you can do is also you can also create a form where you on one side you write the tenses used in simple direct speech, and then a second column where you can write the transformation of these tenses if you move to indirect style. So for example, simple present will lead to simple past, present perfect will lead to past perfect, simple past will be transformed to past perfect too, the modal can into could, will into would, shall into would, and may into might. This can be easier for you then to transform. So I hope it's clear, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.